Subscribe and let's get into this, man.
I went freaking hard.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies.
Right, Gym homies.
Homie, another hitter.
And the freaking weights were my wife.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies. Let's get into this, man.
You're a convicted felon with a little bit of dancing.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies.
Right, Gym homie.
GGH, homie. Another hitter.
Hard hitting. Hard hitting.
Gizmos, gadgets, goodies. Let's get into this. What up? It's Garage Gym, homie. And today, I'm reviewing Alpha Supps. Alpha Pre. Is it worth it? Before we get into this here, please click the subscribe button. I got content coming out every day for you. So click subscribe and let's get into this, homies. Hey, hope you're feeling good, man. Staying out of your head, staying into your heart. The longest journey you'll ever take in your life is about this far. Getting out of here, getting into here, man. Hope you're thanking God today. And the other thing we should be doing, unplugging politics, nonsense, talking negative about people. I don't care if they're around or they're not around. We should only judge people favorably, and we should not get sucked into gossip, homie. It is horrible for your soul. Saying ugly things about people, it's terrible, man. Terrible. The evil tongue, homie. So let's watch what we talk about, man. I fall short of it constantly, man. I get sucked into negative conversations, make a little joke about someone here, talk junk, all that, man. I walk away from it feeling ugly, homie, feeling ugly. So let's be more conscious, closer to God, closer to following our hearts, and closer to who we really are to the core, man. Are you a guy who plays women, sleeps with a million women? Are you a guy who treats people right? Are you a guy who talks junk about people, or you try and bring other people up, man? Successful people celebrate the success of others. Now let's get down to business. Start pumping some freaking iron. Here we go. You're monkeying around now. Alpha Supps. I reviewed their Alpha Cuts, which my homie at Muscle Factory SC sent me. I don't know if Muscle Factory carries this one. I'm going to check. If so, I'll link below with the discount code. This is a lemonade series. They have a whole series of lemonades, apparently. And this is the blueberry lemonade. So I couldn't taste it, but it was I couldn't taste the actual like blueberry lemonade because of my brain injury, but it was a very light. I liked it, and I didn't see any coloring in it. The water was still clear, so they didn't use any that crazy reds or it was very let's see, am I right? Yeah, I don't see any coloring in here. God bless them, man. And I gave their Alpha Cuts a fire review. I really liked it. It was a great, like a perfect daily fat burner, homie. Check that out. Check out my review. And so I was like, man, maybe this pre is promising. So let's talk about the facts, man. No feelings on this label. God bless their souls. They're giving us a fully disclosed label. Supplement facts. 1 scoop, homie, 10 grams. God bless them. They ain't doing that 10.16, 10.3, 10 grams, homie. Not too much thinking. And they ain't doing that 1 scoop, 2 scoop, redfish, bluefish, Dr. Seuss, mumbo jumbo trash. I hate too much thinking, homie. Just tell me the serving. I don't have a dope scale. I don't do 10.16 grams. That's the old GGH. 10 grams, end of story. And the scooper, I did a level scoop. It was like 11 grams, but maybe I did a little more, so it was on point. Their scoop is on point. Anyway, here we go. Pump Endurance Blend. L-citrulline, 3 grams. That's for the pumps. That's very bare minimum, homies. Very bare minimum. I mean, I'm not saying it's not going to work, but that's really just sprinkling a little citrulline on there. Beta-alanine, 2.5 grams. A lot of you might say, well, GGH, why couldn't they give us the clinical dose of 3.2 grams? I don't know, homie. I didn't formulate it. But they gave you 2.5. Maybe it's a compromise. Maybe because some people hate beta-alanine, some people love it, so maybe they're just like, okay, we'll meet in the middle somewhere. I don't know what their thinking is. Agmatine sulfate, 1 gram, and then S7, 50 milligrams. You guys can tell me about this S7. A lot of people think it's a BS ingredient that's Gemma, get over here. that doesn't do much. I'm not quite sure the science behind it. I ain't one of you fancy college folk, Harvard professor, Bill Nye Fauci Juniors, but maybe you can school me, man. Tell me about this SM. So they're giving you a little citrulline, a little beta, and some agmatine. Let's call a spade a spade. Now the Energy Focus Blend, caffeine anhydrous, 300 milligrams. Solid amount of caffeine, man. So Araya genesis, great ingredient, 200 milligrams. That's a stimulant. That's like, I don't want to say it's illicit, but it's like on the edge there. It gives the, like a nice head high, nootropic focus, mood elevation. It pairs great with caffeine. Then Infinergy, 100 milligrams. That's dicaffeine malate, slow release caffeine, which yields 75%. So I have a little problem. They're misleading us here. So on the cover, it says 300 milligrams caffeine. That's not true. It's actually 375 milligrams of caffeine. They're writing 100 milligrams under of Infinergy, but most of the population is going to see 300 milligrams of caffeine and think that's what's in there. Most of humanity doesn't know. Infinergy is caffeine, so it is 375. Tighten up over there, Mr. Alpha Cut, sir. GGH here to give it to you straight. Anyway, man, so 375 milligrams of caffeine from 2 sources. I really like that. Great. You get the fast hit. Well, not the super fast hit. That's citrate, but more of the regular half-life caffeine. And then you get the long-lasting hitter. So if you bums have a job, you shower up after you work out like me, you go to work, you still got energy. Synephrine, and it avoids more of a crash and come down. Synephrine hydrochloride, 50 milligrams, another stimulant. That gets your heart rate up, a little thermogenic maybe, a little nootropic action. It just pairs well with this stuff, hopefully. And Huperzine A, 200 micrograms. That gets you focused in, that gets you dialed in, that gets you thinking about the weights, forgetting about your Tinder dates, because women don't freaking like you, homie. Because you're telling them you have 300 milligrams of caffeine when you really have 375. Women swipe left on that, homie. Get it together, son. No, I'm just talking junk. You know, we can't talk junk in the gym, homie. Where can we talk? Donald T says it's locker room talk, homie. Can't handle some locker room talk? Anyway, man, I hope this is kind of the future of the supplement industry. I don't mean this exact label, but very simple labels. I'm liking it more and more, man. I've been reviewing this Kilo Labs. There's something to this. This Kilo Labs, they use like 8 ingredients, 7 ingredients, and it freaking hits, homie. And my experience with this was really positive too, man. After all the junk I talk, I just hope, I think I'm learning, these kitchen sink supplement where you throw 5,000 ingredients does not make it better than, 8 or 9 simple ingredients that are dosed properly, man. GDH trying to tell you, man. You don't need much to work out, and sometimes less is more. 30 servings, you're winning. So this is what I'll say. I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to say about this, son. I took the drink, man. I came down to the dance floor. It was time for some serious iron pumping, man. So the first thing that I felt was energy about 20 minutes after ingesting it. This was a very, very smooth pre-workout. This has the energy of a regular use pre-workout. This was not a stim junkie experience, but it was a very good experience, very positive, almost a nootropic pre-workout in the sense where the physical energy was paired perfectly with the mental energy. You can definitely tell there's a very well-sourced Araya genesis in here. The synephrine, the Araya, the caffeine, all comes together nicely, and it does elevate your heart rate, actually, man. I mean, you think there's no alpha-yo in here or anything too crazy, but that's it. I mean, you will get your heart rate up to the point where you're moving around the gym, man. The pumps were weak on it. I did notice some vascularity. You can definitely throw a whole pump formula on top of this, man. At least some pump pills. If you're a bodybuilder, you're looking for the whole experience with the pumps and everything. I wouldn't say that the pumps on this were very sufficient. I would say I don't think they made it like that. I think this is more geared toward the energy and focus, which they did a really nice job with. So the pumps were kind of just kind of, they really weren't there, man. And the vascularity I'm speaking of, that might not even be from this. I don't even know, homie. So I'm just saying, I noticed some good vascularity when I was training. I would say you go ahead and throw your pump hitters on top of this. You're bloody hell. I know they got some pump pills. Maybe they got a pump formula too. I think they do. Throw whatever you want on top. You ain't gonna throw too much because they're giving you bare minimum, so you don't gotta worry about overdoing the citrulline or anything like that. The beta, I did feel right when I thought to myself, hey, I don't feel any beta. It did come in, but it went away in about 3 minutes, homie. It was there just enough to tell it was there. Maybe I'm a little oversaturated with beta, maybe not. Maybe the beta was weak, but it came and went quickly, but it was definitely there. So I would say the pumps and beta were on it. The energy and focus, super solid on it, man. That's why I really like this thing, man. The energy and focus on it were the star of the show for sure. It holds you, homie. I mean, high-end daily driver, does not have a cheap feel. That Araya contributes to a nice sense of well-being, nootropic focus, where you're just kind of like cruising through your training, man. No survival mode, crazy heart rate, nothing over the top about it. Just a nice regular use pre-workout. So if you're looking for something where you get that good energy, and I like that the Araya is not over the top. It's not 300 milligrams, anything crazy. It's 200 milligrams, a nice solid dose of Araya that's very effective. Feels like it's, feels like it's sourced nicely. It just comes together nice. So the energy, the focus, the sense of well-being. I don't want to use the word like mood elevation because there's nothing illicit feeling about this, but it just has that good kind of healthy head buzz kind of feeling, like almost like a theobromine. You know what Araya does. It gives you that nice nootropic focus where it's super apparent outside of the caffeine. It's just a high-end regular use pre-workout. You could probably use this like 4 days a week and it doesn't feel crazy. I'm not a big fan of using Araya all the time. I don't want to overdo it because I know some people do consider it an illicit stim, but it didn't feel unhealthy, man. It felt like a healthy kind of nootropic, as you fine folks call it, daily driver pre-workout. Solid experience, man. Really liked it. Just throw some pumps on it, man. That's what I got for you. Garage Gym Homies, always going to give it to you straight. If you, also, you can hit me in the email, garagegymhomie@gmail.com. I got a whole list of super cheap supplements I'm selling, man. Nice job with this. If you're looking for a nice energy, focus, regular use pre-workout, man, I thought they crushed it, man. I think they did a nice job. It didn't feel like a cheap experience. That's what I got. Together, let's get this dang muscle. I'm out.